excited about this. I'm always excited about every live stream that I do. But here's what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about the truth about 100K. Here we go. Let's show it. The truth about 100K. And so here's what I'm saying. The truth about 100K in a year, the truth about 100K in a month, the truth about 100K in a day, the truth about making 100K in a single sale. I'm going to share with you, I'm going to lay some stuff down for you today that's going to shift your perspective. And then I'm going to give you an opportunity to join me as I train on this topic of getting to 100K months. And so let me just dive into this. So the thing about six figures is this: it's elusive. The thing about six figures is, for most people, it's the Holy Grail. The thing about six figures is most people don't get there. So let me lay down some stats for you before I dive into what I want to share today. And I've been saying this over and over again, but I'm going to continue to say it because I want you to really anchor in that everyone is not doing six figures. Like, we get that feeling everybody's doing six figures but me. Okay, so here's the deal. Only 6% of entrepreneurs ever cross the six-figure mark. 6% of all entrepreneurs ever cross the six-figure mark. Only 2% ever cross the $1 million mark. So when you hear me talking about 100K months, there's only 2% of people that are doing $83,000, $333 a month or more in their businesses. Okay. Now, really lean in as I share this with you. When you look at all business owners, so I'm talking entrepreneurship, I'm talking people who are possibly working from home. They're not running big companies. They're probably solo entrepreneurs where it's just them. They don't have huge organizations. When you look at businesses, brick and mortar, online, entrepreneurship, it doesn't matter. Only 50% of all business owners ever make more, get this, than $25,000 a year. Yeah, I'm going to let that sink in. So half of the businesses out there aren't making more than $25,000 a year. So what is the deal with it? Why do you see everywhere people trying to show you how to make six figures and how to make $1 million in their business? And it seems like it's working for everyone, or that everyone's doing it but you. And what I want you to get is that's not the truth. And if you are doing it, you're in the elite. You're among the elite. Okay. Here's what I want you to know, though, when it comes to six figures in your business. I'm just talking six figures, period. In an entire year, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to share with you why I want you to focus on six figures and why I focus on six figures. Six figures is like virtually minimum wage for a business owner. It's the minimal viable stage of a business. That's when you're basically just getting yourself out of survival mode. And even at six figures, you're still kind of in that space where you can't make huge decisions or huge investments in your business. So why do I focus on the six-figure mark? Because I have a powerful belief that when you have learned to create a certain dollar amount in your business, in your lifetime, you have the makings in your DNA. You have the knowing inside of you how to create that dollar amount. Even if it took you 10 years to create six figures or $1 million or $3 million or whatever, you now have the knowing of how to create that. Now what you must learn how to do is learn to collapse time. And that is what I teach my clients how to do. So what I want you to do, and you don't have to do it right now, but I want you to take a pen and paper today, and I want you to write down all of the money you've ever created over your lifetime since your very first job. How much money has passed through your hands? And I want you to write that number down, and I want you to look at it, and I want you to remember what I'm telling you today. Today, once you look at that number, you will know and remember that you can make that dollar amount any freaking time you decide to. You have the makings inside of you to create that number over and over and over again. This is why I focus on six figures. So people will come to me and they're like, Shameca, but I'm already at six figures. Can you help me? And I'm like, heck yeah. My point is, once you know how to create it, I can show you how to collapse time and do it over and over and over again. It's why my clients come to me and they have had multiple six-figure years, and now they're doing multiple six-figure months, right? They were doing $300,000 in a year. They're doing $300,000 in a month, right? $300,000 in a quarter, because we're working on collapsing time. They have the knowing in their DNA. So how do you get there? So I think the thing that most people believe is true that I don't agree with, and that everyone in my camp is like kind of spitting in the face of, is that it has to be complicated, or you have to grind it out and work all the time in order to have a business at that level. And I believe that as long as that's your perspective, as long as you have decided that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to work so many hours, or if I charge people, $100,000 to work with them, I'm just putting that number out there. I'm not saying you should charge $100,000, but I'm going to have to give my life away. This person's going to own me. When that's your belief system, it actually causes you not to be able to create the thing that you actually desire to create. I'm going to say that again. If you think it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, if you think it's going to cost you your time with your family, if you think your calendar is going to be crazy, or you're going to have to manage this humongous team in order for you to get to $1 million or $100K a month in revenue or six figures this year, that you don't have the resources already around you to create that, that will be your reality. I'm going to share one of the most powerful shifts that I have ever gotten just simply by asking someone this question. I said, what do you think has become the biggest thing that allowed you to shift from a person who was doing six figures a year to six figures a month? This was 4 years ago, guys. Okay. When that person answered me, it popped the lid off something, and it changed everything for me. And I began creating six-figure months. What they said was this: I had to change my relationship to what I believed was a whole lot of money. If you think it's going to take you 5 years to hit six figures or do six-figure months, it will. If you think six figures is a lot of money, if that's your perspective, see, there are people to whom $10,000 spends like $100,000 or seems like $100,000. And then there's people to whom $10,000 is like $1 or $10, right? You want to be the latter. You want to start to shift your perspective to what is a massive amount of money. And when you begin to shift that, you begin to allow more and more money to flow into your life. So that's the first thing I want you to do, is begin to shift your perspective. When you think about six-figure months, do you think, oh my gosh, I have no idea how I'm going to be able to do that? Or are you open to the possibility of how you can create it? The second thing is you want to simplify, okay? It doesn't have to be complicated. What people find out when they start working with me is that we shave off all the crap that they think they have to do for the intentional things, the powerful things, the things that move the needle and the dial forward the fastest and have the most impact on their business. And we get rid of everything else, right? I'm not going to start naming off a bunch of things, but I want to give you just a couple of examples, because people come to me and they're working in the evenings, they're working at nighttime. They're like, I got to do this and I got to set this up and that up. And I'm like, get rid of all of that. Let's take the fastest path to cash and do the things that give you the highest probability of getting clients, that for your clients will give you the highest probability of the most transformation, the deepest transformation with your clients. And that's what we begin to do. And so I have a couple of clients that I want to shout out just today, just to give you an idea of what this looks like. So I have a client who last year didn't make 10. I don't even think she made $5,000 last year. Right. But in the last 7 days, she's made $25,000 because she started to get this principle, and she's doing it simplified. She's doing it easy. She's doing it by working way less. She's not working on the weekends. She's not working in the evenings. She's taking simple actions, and she's being strategic and intentional. Right. I have another client who's gone from charging a few $100s to having his largest sale at $6,000. And he cracks me up because the other day he was like, make it make sense. Like, I've been doing all this stuff all this time, and I got to do this and I got to do that. And I come in here with you and you're like, do this do this and do this. And a lot of it has nothing to do with what you think it would have to do to selling your business. And he's like, can you please make this make sense? I'm posting about this. I'm showing up in this way. And people are flooding my inbox because it's intentional and it's strategic, right? What we love is to simplify our way to millions, right? Simple and strategic is what we're looking for, not complicated, convoluted, and exhausted. We're not looking for that. What you got to understand is this, though. The biggest element in all of this is absolutely you. This isn't about your authenticity, though. There are people out there talking about you got to be your most authentic self. I want you to do all of that stuff too. But who you're being right now is not going to get you where you desire to go. So if you desire to have 6-figure months, if you desire to have $1 million, multi-million dollar business, and you want that sooner rather than later, you must shift you. Most of it is what you believe. And then the rest of it is who you are being. It's not about the action. I say this all the time. It's not just about the action that you take. That's why so many of you are out there. You're doing this and you're on this platform and you're all over the place and you're just go, 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 go like the Energizer Bunny. And you're like, why is it not happening for me? And trust and believe, I know this is my hands raised in the air. Trust and believe, I know that used to be me. Because I'm a doer, I'm a go-getter, I'm driven. You tell me what to do, I will focus and do it. But now I've learned how to be intentional about what I do. I am impactful. So it doesn't take hundreds of thousands of people viewing my stuff in order for me to create a 6-figure month. It doesn't take that because I'm very, very clear. I'm like the messaging and how I show up is like a dog whistle to the people who are meant to serve and who are ready to work with me. And this is what I teach my clients how to do. I hope you're listening to me. I hope you're getting this. Okay. You must become the type of woman or the type of man who is capable of doing and creating 100K months. That's what has to happen, or multiple 100K months, or your multiple $1 million of business. Somebody posted on my post the other day, can you just help me get to 6 figures? I don't know, right? But yes, I help people do that, but it all is about who you are becoming. I've helped my clients go from being part of that 50% that only make $25,000 a year to 6-figure years in 9 months or less. I've helped them collapse time and go from six figures or multiple 6-figure years to 6-figure months in 6 months or less. What I understand is this, and I want you to understand this, that's not normal. And that is not average. Remember the statistics, only 6% of entrepreneurs ever cross 6 figures in the first place. What I know for sure is this. There is a little bit of what I like to call magic involved. There is some divine power being downloaded for sure. And what I want you to get also is that all of this, what I'm creating right now, me doing 6-figure months every single month, my clients going from not hitting 6 figures to doing 6 figures, those going from 6-figure years to 6-figure months, it's purely intentional. It is purposeful. It is strategic. It is not an accident. I always say it's not a fluke. It is a formula. When it happens the first time, people are always like, my clients are like, can I do this again? I'm like, absolutely you can, because it's not a fluke. It's not an accident. It is a formula. I didn't just wake up one day and poof, in an instant, I was doing 100K months or 100K months were happening in my business. I didn't just wake up one day with a multi-million-dollar company. Listen, whatever you're doing, just lean in and listen to me while I say this, because I want you to get this. I was deliberate. I was strategic and intentional in the way that I was showing up. It may look happenstance for you, but trust and believe there is a formula. It is not a fluke. There is a strategy that I use with the way I show up and with my content that allows me to call in large sums of money. And for at least the last 3, almost 4 years, I've been teaching other people how to do it too, how to become the type of leader who is capable of creating are calling in a massive amount of money in a short period of time. Yes, that includes 100K months and 100K years. And what I want to share with you today is that I will be teaching you, if you will allow me to, and if you accept this invitation that I'm about to give you, that strategy in my 100K month blueprint masterclass next week. So let me give you an invitation to the masterclass really quickly, and then I'm going to circle back around, and I want to lay something on your heart, because this is possible for you. Okay. It's very possible. If you look at me and you're like, this chick, does she really have a multi-million-dollar business? Because I look that regular to you. That's how you know it's possible for you. Sometimes I'm like, whose life is this are you living? It's mine. And it was intentional and it was by design. I've got the journals to prove it. Okay. So what I want to invite you to do is, if you want to be with me in the 100K blueprint training, I want you to type 100K blueprint in the comment section, and someone from my team or myself will reach out to you and give you the secret location where we're going to have this training. Here's the deal. I don't know if I'm going to do this class for free again. I've been doing it for free over and over and over again. Here's your opportunity to be in the room with me. It's not a normal class. It is 2 hours. I'm opening up for Q&A at the end because we're going deep into what it takes to create this, plus my strategy that I have used to create over $2 million in the last 18 months, and that my clients are using to blow the roof off of anything they've ever done in sales before. So type 100K blueprint, and I will reach out to you to give you that secret location so that you can join us for that training, which is next week. I think we're going to be doing the next one. After that, we're going to be charging for it because we've been doing it over and over and over again. This is probably the last time. It's likely the last time I'm going to do it for free. Okay, so I'm going to teach you my 100K month blueprint strategy in this masterclass next week. And here is the thing. What I want you to get is that it is possible for you to do 100K months, right? It is possible for you to do 6 figures. You can do 6 figures in way less than a year. You can do 6 figures in a quarter. And a lot of that is just belief, right? It's possible for anyone. But it will only happen for those who decide to believe that it is possible. Those who decide to step into it. Those who decide to commit to it. Those who decide to own it fully, that this is what I desire to create. There was a time that I would say it with my mouth that I wanted to have $1 million business, but I didn't have full ownership of it. I wasn't 100% committed to the creation of that thing. There was not trust in the divine that everything that I was doing was working on my behalf to create that thing. Last year, when I set out to make sure that every single month was $100,000 or more a month, and it was actually $120,000 or more a month every single month, I literally ended up doing $1 million month last November. It blew my freaking mind, but it also opened up the possibility. Shameca, you're expanding, right? What I know is that it's possible for you as well. And I want to show you deliberately. It goes against the grain of everything that most people are out there teaching you to do right now, because they're teaching you to do. Yes, there is some doing, but that doing must be strategic and intentional. And guess what? It gets to be simple. It gets to be easy. All right. And so I want to show you exactly what we've been doing. It wasn't until I let go of the belief that $100,000 was only possible in a year and let myself just play with the idea that it could happen in a month or a week, that it happened in a day. That's so crazy. Like, what if you just let go of the belief that it's going to take you 5 years to get there, or 10 years, wherever you are? It could be a 100K month for you, a 100K sale. What if you just let go of the time frame in which you think it was possible, and just know that it's possible to happen for you at any time? What if you just begin to lean into that and play with that belief? Allow it to come to you. Now I'm playing with $100,000 in an hour. Right? Last November, while at my live event, in a matter of hours, as I was making an offer from the stage, which we were doing virtually, so this was a virtual event, I made over $850,000. in a matter of hours. Don't tell me what's not possible. All right. So 100K blueprint, if you want to be in the room. What I want you to understand is what I'm talking about is we're playing in this quantum field. We're playing in like collapsing time. We're playing with something different than what you see with your eyes. We're playing in what I call the vortex. This is where the magic happens. And I want to show you what we do day in and day out. You step in and poof, time starts speeding up. Okay. I'm going to invite you to play with me during the 100K month blueprint masterclass. Again, it's 2 hours. It's not just a 45-minute, 30-minute webinar. Be committed to stay there with me as we go through this process, as I teach you what I know that has helped me generate over $2 million in the last 18 months. And that is helping my clients do the same thing. Afterwards, I'm going to open up for Q&A. What I want you to know is that I am on a mission to empower 30 people this year to get to 100K months. We've already got a couple that are starting to knock it out. 30 people. I know that's a tall order. When I say it, I'm like, breathe, Shameca. But I'm like, heck yeah, we can do this because all I need is the 30 people that are committed to doing it in order to make it happen. Because I know that the process and the methodology and who I am when I'm creating this magic works. I already know that, right? So if you want to be in the room for the 100K month blueprint, go ahead and type 100K blueprint, okay? The thing that we're doing is helping you to calibrate who you are to this vortex that we're in, right? To the energy behind 100K months, 100K days, 100K weekends, 100K quarters, right? It's about tapping in to not just your desire, but your power to receive more, not just create more. See, most of you know how to create, you know how to do. But what you're missing is the allowing. What is the posture of leadership when you're allowing what you are creating to come to you faster and faster and faster and faster? And so I want to share this with you, and I'm excited about it. I am excited about it. And this is stuff like I share some things publicly, but I'm going to be sharing some things that I haven't really shared publicly. It's what I teach my clients behind the scenes. I'm sharing some pieces of the puzzle that you typically would need to invest in my programs to see. And it's going to be deep work, and we're going to go deep behind the process. But I want you to be able to up level into that next level of wealth quickly, fast, right? It's about your opening up your capacity to receive even more. It's about deep self-mastery and leadership, and it's about allowing magic to happen. It's both strategy, right? And energy. It's strategy and spirituality. It's strategy and allowing. It's doing and allowing at the same time. And I want to teach you the methodology behind it. Okay. So that's it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys today, and give you that invitation, because I think this is so important. I think we're in a time right now in the world that it is kind of quite magical. And if you haven't been able to plug into this, you're missing out. So you need to get somewhere where you can plug into what is currently happening. I also believe that as things are shifting, if we can get more money in the hands of good people, we can change a lot. We can change a lot. I was sharing this story the other day, and I'm going to end with this story. It's the story about Tyler Perry. He showed me something this year. He showed me more of who I want to be in the world, or who I want to be at choice to be in the world. And without money, you're not at choice. If you're doing 6 figures a year, you're not at choice. You're still deciding whether or not you can hire people based on how much money you have. You're still deciding whether or not you can invest in a program based on how much money you have, right? I want you out of that space and in the space where you get to decide where you want to spend your money, if you want to pay in full or if you want to pay on a payment plan, if you want to support people or not. All of those things, it doesn't have to come at an expense to you, because it's from your overflow. So I don't know if you know this story, but last year during the pandemic, everybody who was in the entertainment space was pretty much out of work. They figured it out after a while and started doing things from home. But while most movies and TV shows were no longer recording, because Tyler Perry is at a position in his life with his wealth, with the money that he brings in via his company and his business, he was able to open up his doors because he owns acres and acres of land. So his studio is on acres and acres of land. And he was able to open up his doors, COVID test his employees, allow them to stay on the premises while they were being quarantined and tested there, and still work and pay them. So feeding them, paying for their wages, allowing them to work so that they weren't out of work. He could only do that because he had the money to do it. Then fast forward, I don't know if you were listening a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last week with the Prince Harry and Meghan interview. Well, what we found out, I saw a meme, it was really, really funny. It was like Medea's witness protection. So what we found out is that when Prince Harry and Meghan needed a place to stay in the United States, it was Tyler Perry who offered one of his mansions to them, and get this, and loan them his security so that they could be here and they weren't stuck in Canada. I don't know about you, but that's some dope stuff. And that's the level I'm trying to play at, where I can make decisions like that and they don't impact my bottom line because it's out of the goodness of my heart. Now, there's other areas that I want to give in, altruistic for sure, but just the ability to be able to say you can do something like that and have the ability to make a difference in anyone's life, no matter who they are, that's the level of wealth that I'm talking about. I'm talking about private jet rich, right? I'm talking about using your business to shift the wealth code in your family. I'm talking about generating money that doesn't just sustain you to pay your bills. I'm talking about generating the amount of money and wealth inside of your business so that you are leaving a legacy and a dynasty for generations, not just one generation, but 5, right? Your children's 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 children get to benefit from who you are being today and the decisions you are making today. 100K Blueprint will reach out to you and give you the location. All right, I'm going to take off, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my show, my channel. Here's what I want you to do. If you really love what you've been listening to, I want you to subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. No, really, leave a comment, like right now. I'm not going to stop talking until you leave a comment. Seriously, leave a comment.